The Apothecary Diaries Season 1 complete recap. Let's get cooking. Maomao, an apothecary's daughter, is kidnapped and sold to the imperial palace as a laundrywoman. While in the rear palace, she observes a fight between concubines Lihua and Gyokyo, whose children are rumored to be dying from a curse. Discovering lead-based powder as the cause, Maomao leaves anonymous warnings. Lihua ignores it, and her son dies, while Gyokyo saves her daughter. Jinshi, a eunuch, uncovers Maomao's role and introduces her to Gyokyo, who promotes her. Elsewhere, soldiers pacifying a village fall ill, suspected of poisoning. Meanwhile, Maomao starts her new job as Gyokyo's food tester. When Jinshi asks her to investigate, she deduces toxic fumes from burning wood, not poisoned food, caused the illness. Later, tasked with creating an aphrodisiac, Maomao gains access to court medicines. Rumors spread of a ghostly woman in the outer palace. Maomao learns Fuyo, a former imperial favorite, faked madness to escape court life. After losing the emperor's favor, Fuyo danced nightly on the eastern wall, copying a courtesan's trick Maomao once heard of. Maomao uncovers Fuyo's true intent. Discovering her childhood love was a general, she staged her fall from grace to be rewarded to him. The emperor orders Maomao to care for Lady Lihua, who is still sick, but her efforts are blocked by Lihua's ladies-in-waiting. Jinshi intervenes, and Maomao starts Lihua on a detox diet to counteract the poison from the banned beauty powder she was secretly still using. Maomao adds steam baths to Lihua's regimen, and Lihua fully recovers in 2 months. Later, a patient confronts Maomao, seeking a cure for a curse. She identifies it as a simple rash and provides ointment. Jinshi consults her about substances linked to the curse. With the emperor's consorts attending the upcoming garden party, Maomao must also join. During preparations, her secret is revealed. Her freckles are fake, a disguise from her brothel days. Jinshi, captivated by her looks, gifts her a hairpin. At the garden party, Maomao receives 2 more hairpins, one from Lady Lihua, and learns of a political rift between the consorts A Duo and Lishu, where the much younger Lishu is the older A Duo's mother-in-law. Trouble arises when Maomao discovers Gyokyo's soup is poisoned. Investigating, she identifies Lishu is allergic to mackerel, deducing a mix-up of everyone's dishes. After the garden party, Maomao investigates the poisoned soup and concludes Lishu is a bullying victim. The poisoned soup was meant to escalate tensions, but Lishu's taster swapped bowls with Gyokyo's, averting harm. Later, Xiaolan explains hairpins symbolize favors. Using this, Maomao convinces Lihaku, who gave her a hairpin, to escort her outside by promising access to the 3 princesses, top courtesans at her former brothel, Rokushokan. After walking in herb fields, Maomao is taken to the brothel, where she saves a courtesan and a customer from tobacco poisoning, disguised as a double suicide. She stops a servant girl from stabbing the manipulative merchant's son, learning the poisoning was an attempted murder. Her intervention avoids scandal, earning gifts from the madam. After bathing at Rokushokan and visiting an unconscious woman, Maomao returns to the rear palace 3 days later. Jinshi learns of Konen, a high official, dying after heavy drinking. Maomao finds excessive salt in his drink killed him, but intent remains unclear. Later, Gwen asks her to autopsy a drowned servant, whose bloody fingers and bound feet rule out suicide. The case ties to the garden party poisoning. Meanwhile, Jinshi receives a report linking Fengming, Lady Aduo's aide, to burns from the curse incident 2 months earlier. Rumors spread about concubine Aduo losing her title to a younger rival, revealing her ties to the former emperor and a deceased son. At a tea party, Maomao notices Lishu's attendants subtly bullying her, especially regarding a honeyed drink. Jinshi sends Maomao to assist Aduo, leading her to uncover Fengming's coded messages. Connecting Lishu's allergies, the servant's death, and Lishu's fear of Fengmin, Maomao investigates further. Gaoshun finds records about Aduo's deceased son, who was delivered by an expelled doctor, Maomao's adoptive father. Maomao confronts Fengmin about Aduo's son and the Empress Dowager's child, uncovering the truth. Aduo became infertile after her first birth when a doctor prioritized another royal delivery. Fengmin killed Aduo's son with poisoned honey, leading to the doctor's expulsion. Driven by guilt, Fengmin poisoned Lishu and tried to drive her from Aduo. Maomao helps Fengmin reconcile, but Aduo's departure is already decided. Maomao suspects Jinshi might be Aduo's lost son, who may have been swapped at birth. After Fengming's execution, her assets are seized and her connections punished. Maomao, a victim of her family's trafficking scheme, is laid off. Jinshi debates keeping her in the palace but fears her resentment. Later, Maomao returns to the brothel, working part-time as a courtesan. At a lavish party, she encounters Jinshi again, who, realizing his mistake, decides to buy her freedom. Maomao returns to the outer palace, not the rear palace, after her dismissal. Jinshi asks her to continue wearing her freckle makeup. She meets Suiren, one of Jinshi's assistants, and tours his residence. Despite failing the exams to become a court lady, Maomao becomes his assistant, making everyone else jealous. While gathering herbs, she encounters Suire, a mysterious court lady. Maomao, assigned by Jinshi and Gyokyo, educates pure consort Lolan and wise consort Lihua on serving the emperor, using materials from the brothel. Gyokyo and Lihua manage well, but Lishu and Lolan struggle. That night, a fire breaks out in the palace building. Maomao investigates, suspecting arson. She finds an ivory pipe and deduces smoldering embers caused a wheat dust explosion, advising Lihaku to enforce a no-smoking rule. Gaoshun enlists Maomao to investigate a bureaucrat's coma after eating raw fugu with vinegar. Everything aligns except one detail, leading Maomao to Basin, who takes her to the victim's kitchen. Despite interference from the bureaucrat's brother, Maomao finds the culprit: improperly prepared seaweed. The brother, the importer, sought revenge for being mistreated. Meanwhile, Jinshi faces complaints from Lakan after appointing someone connected to a brothel as his servant. Jinshi assigns Maomao to investigate a metalworker's will, where the sons inherit unusual items: a shack, a chest, and a fishbowl. Accompanied by Basen, Maomao discovers solder sealing the chest and uses the fishbowl to melt it, revealing a key that unlocks all drawers, finding a bluish crystal. After the brothers unite and agree on continuing their father's legacy, Maomao advises them to consult her father, suspecting the crystal contributed to their father's death. That evening, Jinshi asks Maomao to help disguise him for an incognito job. She dulls his appearance, scent, and voice to conceal his striking features. As they walk, Jinshi prompts a conversation about Maomao's adoptive father, Luomen, a eunuch who studied abroad. Maomao explains courtesan values, revealing that losing purity halves their worth, while pregnancy reduces it to nothing. Maomao refuses to fully accompany Jinshi, fearing her attire will blow his cover, and takes a few days off. She awakens from a nightmare, recalling her mother suffering from syphilis at the Rokushokan, treated only by Luomen. Meanwhile, Lakan expresses his interest in Maomao, causing tensions with Jinshi. Maomao encounters Suiren again, who mentions planting herbs for a resurrection medicine, sparking Maomao's curiosity. Later, Lihaku informs Maomao about stolen ceremonial tools linked to the warehouse explosion. She discovers the now poisoned warehouse manager succeeded Konen and connects the ivory pipe to a tall court lady. Still investigating, she connects everything to foul play at Jinshi's purification ritual. Rushing to the venue, Maomao is blocked and struck by guards, but saved by Lakan. She then saves Jinshi from a falling ornament before losing consciousness. Maomao wakes in Jinshi's bedroom, and Lihaku informs her of Suiren's poisoning. Maomao suspects Thornapple in the poison and finds a different corpse in Suiren's coffin, intrigued by her faked death. Jinshi grows concerned about Maomao's biological father, Lakan, and reveals a concoction he uses to suppress his manhood. Gyokyo, suspecting pregnancy, seeks Maomao's help, and she returns to the rear palace. Later, Lihaku seeks Maomao's advice on buying out Pyrin, one of the princesses. Jinshi offers to lend him double the price he needs, but Lihaku prefers to win Pyrin's love traditionally, declining the offer. Lakan challenges Jinshi by demanding blue roses for the spring party. Maomao eagerly accepts, using Lady Lihua's sauna as a greenhouse to grow them. Despite some late nights, she succeeds. Jinshi uses the roses to assert his position amid rivals and a new threat from Lolan's father, Shisho. Maomao also creates multicolored roses, discreetly sharing the dye trick with the emperor to avoid political disputes. Later, Lakan accepts a Chinese chess challenge from Mao, where if he loses, he must buy out a courtesan. Maomao wins after getting him drunk. Lakan's past is then revealed. He loved Feng Xian, the Rokushokan's undefeated Go player and courtesan. After her popularity led to a buyout attempt, she ended up giving herself to him. At that time, Lakan was sent to study abroad, and when he returned, he found Feng Xian gone, learning that she became pregnant with Maomao and fell to a tragic fate. At the brothel, he discovers Feng Xian is still alive, and he chooses to buy her out, even though she doesn't have very long to live. Later, Meimei sends Maomao a dress, and while trying it on, she runs into Jinshi, who jumps off the wall with her and carries her back to the palace, creating a brief tender moment. A few days later, Jinshi arrives at the Jade Pavilion with another case for her. Now with this surplus of knowledge, go and enjoy Season 2. Peace!